does that have to do with threesomes? I'm so confused. Alright,
like
she's a straight person. Hey guys, Chandler here, back on my channel, Alternate Journey, and today I am with my partner Sam here.
Hi.
Today we are going to be reacting to a Jubilee video. A while back I reacted to Jubilee, but instead we're not reacting to a video about trans identities and trans rights. Instead, we're going to be reacting to 6 bisexuals versus 1 secret straight person, aka odd one out. There's going to be 7 people and we have to guess which one is the straight person. So I'm bi, in case anyone forgot.
And I'm queer.
You're queer. So hopefully we can figure out which one's the straight person.
You have better quote-unquote gaydar than I do.
I don't really believe in gaydar.
Yeah, I don't really believe in it either, but what I mean is like you're better at like clocking like, oh, I have a feeling that this person's gay or bi, and then I'm like, oh really? Like I had no idea.
I'm not gonna guess which one's bi based off looks, because first off, none of them have cuffed jeans. So, oh wait, no, that one girl does. Okay, never mind, she's definitely bi. No, I was joking. I have a theory that the one straight person is either gonna act so gay or they're gonna act so straight. They're gonna try to not conform to stereotypes where, you know how like bisexuals, it's like people automatically think you're gonna be like either really, really gay or just really, really straight. So I think they're gonna conform to those stereotypes. I think it's gonna be very obvious, hopefully.
I am bisexual.
I am bisexual.
I'm bisexual. I am bisexual.
I'm bisexual. I'm bisexual.
I am bisexual.
I feel like Jubilee's gonna be smart and make one of the girls the straight person.
I can see that happening. And also with girls, I feel like it's just harder sometimes to tell.
I'm David. Nice to meet y'all. Tristan.
Marissa. I'm Sydney. Ellen.
Noveen.
Molly.
I was nervous because everyone was looking like they could
Bisexual?
being a bisexual person.
How would you define bisexuality in like your own opinion?
For me, it's just being attracted to human beings where I see people for their heart and their soul. Of course, I care about the outside too, don't get me wrong.
I was suspicious of David just because that was the closest one I could feel was not bisexual.
David just has more of a hetero look compared to everyone else.
I've dated both girls and guys.
What?
That means that you're bi and all.
I see it as just fluidity. Sometimes I'm like more into men, more into women, but no matter what, it's not a passing phase. I'm always gonna be bisexual no matter who I'm dating.
For me, the same thing. Basically, it's just I don't really have a preference.
I recently saw on TikTok someone say being bi could be being attracted to people who are non-binary and binary
No fucking shit it is. I hate how they're always like, you know, these people on TikTok are really woke. No, they're fucking not. They're really not. They just, Bisexuality just means you're attracted to both sexual functions, aka penis or vagina. That's all it means. It has nothing to do with gender.
Because I'm non-binary and he's bi. We're in a relationship.
Exactly. Like the whole, like I don't hate pansexual people, but it's like the whole argument of pansexuality versus bisexuality pisses me off. The whole pansexuality just opened up because like people are experiencing their gender and people are becoming more knowledgeable about gender. So everyone thinks that when we're talking about sexuality, they automatically associate it with gender because people think automatically gender, oh, sex change. They think because they are getting sex changes and all that stuff, it has to be a different category. When in reality, if you're bisexual and you're attracted to both sexual functions, then what the fuck does it matter? The sexual function is attached to what gender. Also, David, or whatever his fucking name was, he did not look like the most straight person there. Just because he was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, how's that so straight? Just because he didn't cuff his jeans or have fucking high waters like that other fucking guy.
I think that all the guys are bi.
I feel like they're being smart and making all the guys bi.
Yeah.
And it's definitely gonna be one of the girls. Is she gonna be the straight person?
I was getting a vibe.
She's the only one with cuffed jeans.
And she referenced TikTok.
And she referenced TikTok.
She's like, I heard from TikTok that it's like, why would you need to go off that to get educated? Why do you need to know that when
you already, if you're bisexual, you already know that.
You know what, I kind of like that even better because I feel like that's more inclusive.
I felt like Molly was like very sure of herself, so that made me a little suspicious.
Ellie might be the odd one out.
I felt like I should vote for Molly because I feel like this is the safe bet.
Yeah. I would vote for Molly too.
Yeah.
Tie between Ellie and Molly.
Okay, Molly, I mean, Ellie didn't really say shit.
Right.
What we're gonna do is give you each 20 seconds to state your case.
State your case of bisexuality? What would you say if you were in this group and you had to state your bisexuality?
You gotta prove yourself in court.
How do you prove you're bisexual?
Okay, right now, get on the floor, boy, girl, and go at it.
Listen, it's like, you want me to suck your dick off her right now? Is that what I have to do to prove shit? Like, what am I supposed to do right now? I guess in this 20 seconds you can quickly explain your coming out story.
Whereas the person who's straight would have to be, I don't know, unless they're good at lying. Some people are just really good at lying.
Well, when money's on the line.
I am bisexual. I've questioned it multiple times beforehand, but I finally identified what I really feel. And I mean,
I hope you guys can see that.
I mean, it's hard to explain who you are,
I
you know?
or not straight or lesbian since I was about 8 years old when my parents caught me looking at girls kissing on YouTube. Angelica from Rugrats is what really started this off for me. So that's
I've heard that from some people.
Angelica? No. She's such a bitch though.
Some people are into a bitch.
If you're attracted to toxicity, okay, then fine. Of course they're gonna choose Molly now because she mentioned looking up girls kissing on YouTube and
Which
shit.
is like the most common thing people can make up.
They're gonna vote
So
Ellie out. I know
Molly,
it.
her answers at the end when she was like trying to prove herself were too spot on. This is definitely
I like this chick. I'm with Sydney.
I'm with Sydney.
Oh. Ooh, maybe they're all on our page.
Yeah.
Did we get rid of the straight person automatically
I
or?
know myself. Like I knew how to present myself because it's me and I am bisexual. But I think being myself sounded too rehearsed.
Oh,
True.
oh,
Okay,
so
that's a little true. Okay, I feel a little bit mean now. Okay, out of these people, if she wasn't the straight person, who do you think's the straight person? They didn't really talk much about themselves, so I really don't know. The guy in the end, he sounds too gay to be straight, but maybe that's rehearsed.
That's the thing, it's hard to tell how much someone's faking.
They need to do coming out stories, I feel like.
Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus.
So
Oh, what music you listen to?
So stereotypical.
I'd be cut out immediately. I don't listen to that shit.
Yeah, you don't listen to bi guy music.
I
That's all
listen
bullshit.
to Grateful Dead and like emo shit.
No one would be able to know
Yeah.
by your music taste.
But like I
By
don't think
mine.
music taste really is gay culture.
There's stereotypes for sure. Like if a guy's like, oh, I listen to like Lady Gaga and like all this other stuff. But then again, some people can just say that because they know that's the gay icon. Like, oh, I'm a straight
True.
guy.
Oh, maybe David just started listening off gay shit.
Yeah, he was like Selena Gomez and like
Selena
all
Gomez.
that. This is what I'm saying. This is hard. I'm so bad at this.
My favorite person
Okay,
is
Miles
Apple.
Russ is good.
Love Miles.
Yes. Okay, I remember. Yeah. Okay, then. Okay, so
I think she's definitely bi, the blonde girl.
Sydney, yeah.
Sydney, yeah.
Friendship. When did everyone came out and how was the family reaction and friends reaction?
Thank you. Someone's asking good questions now.
I was
Right.
like, the first time taking an edible, we're having a moment, and I'm like, Mom, I need to tell you something. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I like girls. What do you guys do?
It's always the fucking
Okay, and like no one really expected it, but everyone was really accepting. I feel like because sometimes I'll be like with a guy more, then like people will question, oh, are you actually bisexual or not? So I questioned it multiple times. Once like sophomore, junior year of college, I felt like I could identify with bisexuality.
To me, I came out when I graduated high school. I was like feminine, like the way I walk, the way I talk and everything. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gay. And then found a girl and I was like, oh, I'm straight? Actually, like both, so I guess I'm bi.
The coming out question was a good question, but like they're all saying the same story.
Plus, I
So
think a
it's
lot of
really
coming out
hard to-
stories are the same.
Well, yeah, that's the problem with bisexuality because of course it's gonna be like really confusing. Like that one girl was saying like
Yeah.
she was more attracted to men, or she just found herself with more men that she
Yeah.
like connected with personally.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like me personally, yeah, I was in more male gay relationships than I was like with straight relationships, and I think that's just because there was more males with personalities that I liked than there were females. You know what I mean?
That's the other thing. There's not one way to be anything, like to be bisexual. So it's like anybody's experience is like valid, even if they're faking it. But like their story could have been an actual bisexuals coming out.
Yeah.
That's why it's also hard because there's no right or wrong with your story.
I feel like this is a very hard one depending upon who's straight because
'Cause
it's
bi.
so easy to pretend to be bi. Like many straight individuals do it for queer baiting. So like don't even get me started.
Don't even get me started on queer baiting.
Came out as lesbian in 8th grade, and then in 9th grade realized that I liked a guy.
Do you tend to like the guys more?
Now I have, but I like used to date girls more, and then I started dating. But I mean, I date both. But yeah.
There wasn't that strong of an emotional connection coming out through her face. She sounded like someone who did research on like bisexuality.
Or because it's actually a very wrong and triggering question to ask someone what's more their preference. When they're bisexual, they're bisexual. It's not like, okay, I get you're bisexual, but let's face it, do you like sucking dick more? Or she ended up dating more women in high school, but now she's dating more men. That's just because there's more men in her life that she's more attracted to than female. Like, it just depends what stage you are in your life.
I'm wondering, like, what are some of the dumb stereotypes you guys have heard that, like, are really annoying to you, like a pet peeve?
That's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
To me, it's like, oh, you're bi, so you can just get everyone.
Yeah.
Have any of your
Sorry.
partners ever said like, oh, more competition?
Hello?
Oh. Yeah.
It's like, no, like I love you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although I have dated a guy and a girl at the same time once. It didn't go well.
It didn't go well.
But for once, I felt like people were validating me.
Because you were
Very
actually
awkward.
action
Exactly. I was like, oh yeah, now what? Am I gay or am I straight to you? Because I have both. Right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
That's a valid thing with a lot of
Like,
bisexuals
guys,
saying.
like
Yeah, they
hear
do.
that you're bi as a girl.
Yes.
And then, of course, it's like, oh, you
we
want to
have
have a
True. the
I'm
male
not a unicorn.
gaze,
Like,
the way
like,
guys treat
the first
bisexual
question
women
is
sometimes.
asked, at least for like, I know for women too, it's like, well, have you even been with a girl? For men, it's always like, you're not bisexual, you're gay.
If people ask me like, oh, do you like girls or guys more? I don't want to answer that question because it always changes, like you said. I've only dated guys, but it doesn't mean I'm gay. Like, it means I still am attracted to women, and it's like...
Okay, so why didn't he stand up for Sydney when Ellie asked Sydney that? Like, he even said that he wouldn't answer that question. That's a true bisexual. He's definitely bisexual. Especially since this isn't, like, just find the one non-bisexual, because, like, they could do that where it's like, oh, I'm not bisexual, I'm actually just gay.
Right,
But
right.
no, he's definitely within the community, so he's definitely not the
I
gay
definitely
person.
got that from the beginning.
But it's like, so why didn't he stand up for Sydney? You know what I mean? Have some balls, man!
You assume that you're gay, but you know, you just think that you're bi just to make it like easier.
Yeah,
Are you sure you're just not
I've
gay?
heard that.
You just want to try something.
And I feel like it's way worse for guys in that way. And then for girls, it's like,
And honestly, it's way easier to be gay than it is to be bisexual. So I don't like how straight people actually think that when you say you're bisexual, they're like, oh, you're saying you're bisexual to make it easier. It's like, no, it's not. It's
More
so
confusion.
easier to be gay.
But also
than
just the
bisexual.
confusion of trying to figure out, because how society is, it's this very binary, like, oh, you like guys or you like girls. So if you like both, a lot of people think they're still in this like stage of, oh, I just don't know yet, but they could just be
Right.
bisexual. So it's actually more confusing to find yourself when you're bi.
Or everyone just thinks you're a sex addict.
Yeah.
Like, I would vote for the brown-haired chick. I don't remember her name.
I keep forgetting her name.
Because she's not talking that much. The one statement that I really heard her say was, I'm not a unicorn.
I'm not a unicorn.
Which I really don't know what that means. Who do you vote for?
Well, I was thinking about her since the beginning.
I thought you were gonna share a new one for David.
Well, in that one part of the video, I was like, no, he could be a culprit, as you could
Or
say.
we already got the straight person out. Maybe it was Molly the whole time.
I was a little more suspicious of Ellie because I also felt like the guys were kind of teaming up. So I wanted to vote for her so I wouldn't be voted out.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Also, she did ask her about the whole, which one do you like more?
Wait, well, let's see
I
what.
was just so confused why they chose me. Maybe I was talking too much. I don't know, everyone was too quiet, so I felt like I had to speak up.
Was it difficult for you to come out to yourself? Because it was extremely difficult for me. Because I never really had a crush on a guy, because I would only have crushes on females. Like, I remember it was right after graduation.
I don't think that's a good question, because you shouldn't judge someone for not being insecure. Just because someone's so sure of themselves or had a different experience than you doesn't mean that they're not bisexual.
In terms of the game, it's not a good question to weed people out.
What do you ask anyways, you know, with this, you know? Like, especially since it's bisexual, that's like a very stereotypical question where it's always gonna be just hard for you, especially with bisexuality, because it's like, yes, flip-flop for some individuals and stuff, but it's like,
Yeah, everyone's
you
different.
shouldn't weed someone out just because they're not as insecure as you.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
they
agree.
just had accepting parents throughout their whole entire life and everything, and they just thought like that's just natural. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had very accepting parents and stuff like that. I went to a lesbian wedding when I was like
Yeah,
6 years
he did.
old. I didn't have to come out as bi. That was just natural. I wasn't insecure about it really. The only thing that I was like insecure about was me being trans, because that's
That
a little
makes
harder
sense.
scenario.
Yeah.
You know?
That's two different
That was the only
things.
thing I had to come out as, you
Yeah.
know?
Even now, I still have moments where I'm like, what am I? But I feel confident saying I'm bi, you know, but...
Yeah, I think it was hard for me, like I mentioned before, like more to myself than like my family or the people around me. But it was just challenging figuring that out.
I'm sorry, I have doubt on you.
Same, me
I'm so
too.
sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm being
Wow.
friendly here.
So because I voted for Sydney twice, I had to call her out in the middle of the game.
No one is going after the other chick. She's literally just
Right?
standing there. They're all just freaking
going
going
after-
after Sydney. Why immediately being like, I have doubts on you?
Suspicious. Now everyone's gonna vote for me.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God. I don't know what to ask. Like, I just...
Do you guys have like a favorite TV character, like representation?
Yeah. I would say, because I'm being called out, Alice from the L Word. I was on an
I've
episode
never
of the
seen
L Word
that.
as an LGBT like background.
I haven't
person.
seen all of it.
I started the first GSA at my middle school.
Huh?
I don't know what else to do.
I think she really wants the money. No, I'm just kidding.
Straight people can do that too.
And she tried to defend herself, but it was not convincing to me.
Yeah.
I would like to ask, like, okay, when is Pride Month?
Duh.
I'm sorry, I really have doubt on you. I'm sorry, but
Also,
Then,
I
yeah,
just
ask good questions.
know,
Stop
like, I
saying
think
it.
about stereotypes. I feel like I'm very feminine, so like that would be so easy for me to just be straight.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I was suspicious of Sydney, but then there was a point where I was also suspicious of Melvin. The fact that he did go against Sydney, that made me think about it a little.
So there's only two people that I'm sure is bi, and that's Tristan and Sydney. 100%, I believe they both bi.
Also, the way she's acting about them not thinking she's bi makes it look like she is bi. Because she's like, why are you not seeing
panic
it?
right there.
Yeah,
you know how triggering that is too? Like hearing your whole life of people like being, because like especially since with the bi scenario, people always just tells you, no, you're either just gay or straight. So now all these people saying that they don't believe that she's bi. Imagine her hearing that the whole time of her life and now hearing it too on this game.
I would get pretty mad.
Like of course, like
and,
that's...
and she doesn't really seem to have a reaction much.
Yeah, Marissa, I think her name is. Like, she's not talking. She's not doing shit. She's stepping back.
She doesn't care.
She's the straight person. She's in it for the money. I'm going against Marissa.
So in round 3, I began maybe doubting myself a little bit, thinking, okay, could be Sydney.
Oh. No, Tristan.
So I was like, it's either gonna be me or Marissa. I thought the guys would like vote against the girls because 2 girls were voted out in the first 2 rounds.
True. Actually, yeah, none of the guys actually voted against any of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, Melvin got 1.
I was so sad because I really liked everyone. I trusted everyone at that point, so it sucked, but I was also expecting it.
The lights turn green, that means you have early on the hole, and you win.
It's gonna be red. I feel like the straight person's still there.
Still in the box, and you lose.
Oh, not there.
I was so nervous.
So they're
I feel
okay.
Interesting.
So I was so happy.
Marissa wasn't saying shit though. That's why, like, I didn't think Marissa was bi because she wasn't saying shit. Like, she was just suspicious in that way. Like, I couldn't tell really with her if she was gonna be straight or bi. I feel like they probably voted out the straight person right away. I really feel like it was Molly. They voted out Molly, then Ellie, then Sydney.
Move the ball, please step forward and
Please don't be Sydney. Sydney, don't do this to me.
2, 1.
Yes, it was that bitch. It was that bitch that asked which one you like more, guys or girls though. Of course, she just outed herself as straight by asking that question.
I forgot she
Everyone should have picked that right off the bat when she asked that question and been like, of course she was the straight one. No one noticed that she asked that question except for Sydney, because obviously it was directed at Sydney. And then Tristan. Sydney could have gotten some money. Look at that smile though. Like,
I know, she's
sorry
like,
guys, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint.
Bisexual.
The hetero.
I'm actually straight. I think a lot of people found difficulty in figuring out who was bisexual. They didn't really have a tactic. You can't really tell who's bisexual based on just looking at them or whatever. And I like men, even though I think they're trash. But
Good lesson.
I know.
Had to make it spicy, that's why she asked that question.
Is
Alright.
to just love who you want to love.
It's to be attracted to male, female, and we can go a little bit beyond.
More doors being open. That's how I see bisexual.
Why do they...
Wait, you didn't like the way you worded that?
Yeah, like I get how it's like trying to be inclusive, but language is very important. You can't be like, it's about being with a male or a female, and sometimes it goes beyond that or something like you said. It's that weird language where they are inclusive, but it's like if you're so inclusive, you don't have to say it.
He meant like a non-binary type of deal?
Non-binary people hate being
The other.
The other too, because then it's like kind of like the third gender, and the whole thing about non-binary is that you are associated with no gender. Just because you don't understand the language that you are using doesn't mean that the actual power and definition and history of that word is not still there. Once you know the actual meaning of the language you use and like what the language you go on using forward, that determines your true characteristics and stuff like that.
That's true. Take notes. Take notes, people. If you're an alternate journey viewer, you gotta know that.
They're not gonna give any money to Sydney. They should give some money to Sydney, because I would feel so bad. I would split my cut with Sydney, honestly.
Yeah.
I would have. Yeah.
I did feel bad. I did feel
so bad for her
Yeah.
because they all attacked her and was like, that could have been so triggering for her, you know?
Should we look at some of the comments?
Yeah. It's so lame that people say bi girls are just faking it. Votes for most girls out. They should have given them a cheer. This would have gone a lot faster.
Yeah, I was just reading that one, yeah.
As a bisexual person myself, I feel like I would struggle trying to actually prove that I'm bi.
Yeah.
I'm way too awkward.
That's what we were saying.
I love Ellie. She gets the sexuality isn't how you look or act. That's so refreshing to see from a straight person. Yes, but I still do not like Ellie because she could be a woke straight person, but like she still asks like triggering weird questions that you're just not supposed to ask a bisexual person. So that really automatically outed her as straight in my mind. If people were actually paying attention to what everyone was saying, I feel like the round could have ended right then and there and been like, oh no, we
Yeah.
definitely got the straight person out.
You know, it would be interesting, not like during this video, but to watch this again now knowing who's straight and hearing
And
it all
realizing
again.
all the language that
Yeah,
they use.
because then things are going to be like, oh, that makes sense now that I know.
Why is all the comments saying they should have put a lesbian?
They could
How
make
is that-
another video like
they
that.
could, but like that's just a bunch of gays. It would have been 6 bisexuals versus a gay, and that would make fun of him just because he had a more feminine voice and been like, oh, he's obviously too gay to be
That's
bi.
true
So it's like
for
it's
him.
very like I don't think that would have been good. Sydney was so right about the fact that the guys are voting out girls. It's crazy to assume every woman is straight or lesbian. Never a bi. Never a bi. A bi.
A bi.
Yeah, no, that's true. There's more stereotypes with bi men than there are with bi women, I feel like.
Definitely.
There's more.
Comes from a masculinity
Yeah,
type
it attacks
of
masculinity. So I
misogyny.
don't. To get in their heads, I'm assuming none of them want to vote out the other guys to threaten their masculinity or anything like that. I feel like that's why they did that. Did you guys get it right? Comment that down below.
let us know.
Comment that down below if you want us to react to more stuff like that. Where can they find you, Sam?
You can find me at, says my address. My main channel is Queen Halo. My vlog channel is Sam Vlogs. That show will be linked below.
Look at the statistics. If you find yourself watching multiple of my videos, might as well subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell down below so you get notifications whenever I upload. That is if YouTube actually works. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.